Good day everyone! Welcome to my channel, the I Teach channel, and today I am very happy to share to all of you my answers in the Learning Delivery Modality course for teachers. The responses in every activity are based on my own interpretation of the LDM module. You can also leave comments if you have anything to share to our dear teachers. Thank you. Module 2, Most Essential Learning Competencies, MELC. Lesson 1, Background, Rationale, and Development of MELCs. Activity number 1. The closure of schools around the world due to global pandemic posed serious challenges on the delivery of quality basic education. As a teacher, what do you think are the fundamental concerns in terms of curriculum standards that need to be addressed in order to ensure learning continuity? Cite a specific example. Do you think these concerns could be solved by teachers alone? Why or why not? The fundamental concerns in terms of curriculum standards that need to be addressed in order to ensure learning continuity is that how can the learning competencies stated in the curriculum guide in each learning area be mastered by the learners since face-to-face learning is impossible? This concern could not be solved by teachers alone. They need bureau specialists, academic experts, and field implementers in curriculum to determine the most essential learning competencies. But since MELC is already available, teachers still need the help of parents in order to ensure that learning takes place. For modular learning, parents will play a great role in assisting their child since teachers will not be there to teach. And for online learning, parents' guidance are still vital because their child needs stable internet connections and gadgets to attend online classes. Number 1. Even prior to the spread of COVID-19 that eventually led to the closure of schools nationwide, the congested curriculum has been a perennial problem for teachers. Andaya stated 2018. This is perceived to be one of the hindering factors on the poor performance of Filipino learners. Do you agree with this observation? Why or why not? Yes, I agree that the congested curriculum has been a perennial problem of teachers. I also believe that this is one of the hindering factors on the poor performance of Filipino learners. You know what? I had observed that learners were lacked of mastery because the teacher is trying to finish the competency within a day without minding other pupils who were left behind. Yes, it is true. They were giving remediation to those learners, but sometimes these were not done by teachers because of the bulk of reports that they need to pass. They will just let the learners bring it at home, and then the other day, they will be teaching another competency. Activity number 2. Familiarize yourself with the course reading on the development of this and designing of the MELCs. After going through the documents, provide a brief and concise response to the following guide questions. What are the general and specific purposes of the development of MELCs? MELC's general aim is to focus on the most essential skills a learner requires to learn in a particular length of time and to sustain the quality of curriculum. Number 2. How does curriculum review aid in the identification of essential learning competencies? It enlightens us to know the specific, measurable, attainable, and most essential competencies that can be accomplished within a limited time both by the teachers and learners with the assistance of the parents. Question number 3. What is the difference between essential learning competencies and desirable learning competencies? Essential learning competencies are defined as what the students need, considered indispensable in the teaching learning process, to building skills to equip learners for subsequent grade levels and subsequently for lifelong learning. On the other hand, desirable learning competencies were defined as what may enhance education but may not be necessary in building foundational skills. Number 4. How were the most essential learning competencies identified? What were the decision what were the decision made in order to trim down the number of the essential learning competencies further? A significant number of learning competencies were removed or dropped due to the following reasons. They are too specific and the articulation is similar to that of learning objective. They are deemed appropriate to be introduced in an earlier quarter or grade level or moved to a later quarter or grade level. They are recurring. They are subsumed in another learning competency. Finally, certain competencies were rephrased to be more concise. What is the importance of MELCs in ensuring the delivery of quality instruction? The release of MELCs is not just a response to addressing the challenges of the current pandemic, but it is also part of the department's long-term response to the call of SDG 4 to develop the resilient education systems, most especially during emergencies. Thus, it can be used under certain circumstances as a mechanism to ensure education continuity through the curriculum dimension. The MELCs will enable the department to focus instruction to the most essential and indispensable competencies that our learners must acquire as we anticipate challenges in learning delivery. It will also enlighten the burden of converting classroom-oriented learning resources into learning resources adapted to distance learning. Activity 3. Prepare a copy of your learning area's original K-12 curriculum guide and corresponding list of MELCs. Go to the section of the curriculum guide and MELCs that are relevant to your instructional needs. Copy and accomplish the following table in this study notebook and compare the two documents to determine which learning competencies were retained, dropped, and merged. So we are going to focus first to the merged and clustered. So the first one here, we have identified the values suggested in the visual media. And we have another one, determine images, ideas that are explicitly used to influence viewers. We have stereotype, point of view, propagandas, and make connections between information viewed and personal experiences. So in MELC, they were merged. So they become only one objective, and that is make connections between information views and personal experiences. Retained. We have here identify real or make-believe, fact or non-fact images. So it was being retained in the MELC. Still identify real or make-believe fact or non-fact images. Dropped. So we have here the list of some of the objectives that were dropped. Analyze the characters used in print, non-print, and digital materials. And analyze the setting used in print, non-print, and digital materials. Activity 4. In your LAC session, discuss and share your answers to Activity 1 to 3 in this lesson. discuss any questions about the MELCs that need clarification as well. Share thoughts and let your co-teachers articulate their insights regarding your questions. Jot down all the insights shared in the discussion, including your own, in the study notebook. Identification of whether the competency is to be maintained, combined, dropped, and rephrased is important. Learning skills should still concentrate on the study, understanding, and writing skills that are essential to our everyday life. A list of features of important learning skills has been presented to help participants determine which of the most relevant LCs are. Module 2, Lesson 2. Okay? Activity number 1. What is the importance of unpacking and combining the MELCs? Unpacking and combining the MELCs are vital. It helps to sustain the delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and deliberating Philippine basic education services anchored on the Sulong Edukalidad framework. It continues to produce holistic Filipino children or learners with 21st century skills, and it ensures that learning standards are relevant and flexible to address the complexity, disruptive, volatile, and ambiguous impact of COVID-19 in the Philippines, particularly in the basic education sector. Number 2 question, what considerations must be taken in unpacking and combining the MELCs? Explain each. Part of the process was deciding whether a learning competency is to be retained, merged, dropped, or rephrased. As a general rule, a learning competency was retained if it satisfies the endurance criterion, which greatly contributes to lifelong learners and is a prerequisite skills to the next grade level. Two or more learning competencies are merged or clustered into one comprehensive learning competency if they have the same objective on learning intention. A significant number of learning competencies were removed and dropped due to the following reasons. They are too specific, the articulation is similar to that of the learning objective, they are deemed appropriate to be introduced in an early quarter or grade level or moved to the later quarter or grade level. They are recurring, and they are subsumed in another learning competency. Finally, certain competencies were rephrased to be more concise. Do all MELCs need to be unpacked or combined? Why or why not? Yes, because learning objectives must be suitable to the learners at a specific given time and particular modalities. Thus, it can be used under certain circumstances as a mechanism to ensure education continuity through the curriculum dimension. Activity number 2. Discuss and jot down the synthesis of the presentation in your study notebook. Unpacking and combining of MELCs help to minimize the consumption of time in delivering the competencies without taking for granted the quality of education we are imparting to our learners. Congratulations! You are done with Module 2. Please don't forget to like, subscribe the iTeach channel, and please click the bell button for you to be updated with my new videos for the next module. See you next time, guys. Bye!